Welcome to the toughest part of the crypto market. You might feel like, huh? Why? Because the bear market is already over. We went down a lot and now we're going up. How is this the toughest part? Let me show you. Things could be really bad still. And that will, get you out of the crypto market. So with that being said, welcome to the FOMO Factory. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, smack the like button one more time. Like, did I get the timing right on that one? I don't know. Unsubscribe if you don't like it. Anyway, the toughest part of the bear market. Yeah, it definitely is the toughest part of the bear market. Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about the so-called alt season that people were calling for. And let's take a look how these altcoins actually performed in this alt season. And yeah, the first thing I would like to say is this. Isn't this alt season? It never was. It never was. It never was an alt season. Too many people were calling for that. And that made sure that a lot of people got disappointed. And that's exactly the reason why this is the toughest part of the crypto market. Why do I say that? Well, if you look at Bitcoin, now sitting at $28,420. That 420 is, of course, a beautiful sign for me as a Dutchie. But for the rest, yeah, it's kind of boring, right? And it's hard, this kind of market, because people want to have, let me get a cleaner chart. People want to know what they're up to. Right? That's with everything. You want to know what you are up to. That's fine. It's like a bad relationship. Like if you go to the, well, let's say here, this chart right here of Bitcoin, right? We can compare it a little bit. So we went all the way from 3K give or take to 70K, came down to 15K, and now are at 28.4. Now, in hindsight, in a couple of years, you look back at this level and you will say to yourself, oh man, I wish I bought there, because overall the macro perspective is that Bitcoin will go much higher than this. Of course, I think we all agree on that. But it's what happens in the meantime. You have to be a superstar in putting your emotions off. And not everybody is so good when it comes to that. In this bear market, for example, we went down from $1,200 all the way down to $160, right? That's a lot. That's a lot down. But at least you know what you're up to, right? Then we have that year after the halving, and that's quite hard because, a year before the halving, and that's quite hard because first you reach the bottom of $170, go all the way up to $320. So you feel like, okay, bull mode is back, baby. But then you go all the way down to that $160 again. Right? And then you have the bull run. You know exactly what you're up to. That's nice. Here, again, we have a bear market. You go down. You know exactly what you're up to. Right? You look at your portfolio one day. You have, I don't know, $10,000. You look the next day, you have 8. You look the next day, you have 6. Feel like, nice, there's some structure in my life finally, right? But you know exactly what you're up to. However, in the year before the halving, so in the sideways year where we are basically right now, also it's quite wrecking, right? Because you are at around the bottom. Here we were sitting at around $3,000. We shot all the way up to 14K. I can assure you, people right there thought like bull mode is full back on. People bought here, yeah. Then what happens? A really slow bleed. Weeks after weeks after weeks to just return to 6K. Right? You feel like, fuck. It went up all the time. I finally bought. And now we are slowly bleeding to 6K. How painful is that? But then we finally shot back up to, 10.5. So he thought like, okay, let's go for it now. And then in a matter of a few weeks, we got a fucking flash crash all the way down to $4,000. Believe me, that's where people gave up. So again, that's knowing what you're up to, right? Because this up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. This is like dating with a borderline girl. This is not what you want. You want a steady, good wifey like this. Or someone who breaks up with you like this. But not someone like, yeah, I like you, but we should be friends. But maybe we should be more than that. Your dick isn't big enough. Maybe we should, like, come on, it's so fucking hard, right? Now we're in the same type of market. A lot of people are calling for 45K. A lot of people are also saying like, yeah, we go down to 12, 13. It's like the one or the other, right? There is no midway in there. And I think that midway is exactly what we are getting. And that will disappoint bulls and bears. Right? That's a little bit of the problem. But I can tell you this. Not a lot of people are watching these videos right now, right? I started my channel in the bear market. I'm even surprised that we got to 12,000 subscribers right now. So I appreciate you guys a lot, right? Because it's hard being a content creator in these type of markets. Like, I don't earn shit. Just did a giveaway of like $2,500 or something like that. But you know, I maybe earn like on a good day with YouTube, well, $9, right? So it's not that easy right now. So the people that do stick, I really appreciate you. But it's also good for you because you will make it. Because a lot of people gave up, right? Because Bitcoin doesn't know what it wants. But everybody was calling for an alt season as well. Well, we didn't get that as well. So a lot of people are giving up. And if you're watching these videos, you do not give up, apparently. And that's what I appreciate about you, because that's hard. It's actually hard, well, looking at me in the first place, but it's also hard looking at, well, being in crypto, right? Constantly being in crypto while you're not really getting anything in return. Because if we will do see a pull down again, I bet you a lot of people, a lot of more people are giving up, and it's hard to stick through. But I really advise you to do so, because that's the part where most money is made, and I'm gonna show you. And then we'll go back to our beloved alt season and what my expectation is. If you look at, this is Benjamin Cohen's dashboard. If you look at the social metrics, this is quite funny. So the social metrics are people that are subscribing to YouTube channels, how many views these YouTubers get, people that follow Twitter analyst exchanges or layer ones. That's the red line. And you'll see that it's coming down, right? So people are losing interest. They are giving up, right? We are now again sitting at the lowest point. We just made a new low. I think it was a new low 2 weeks ago, right? So this is the part of the market where you do not hear a lot of people talk about crypto, because not a lot of people care about crypto, right? But you should do it the other way around. And that's what I'm trying to preach on this channel often, because it's like the fear and greed index, right? You sell the greed and you buy the fear. Now, with this, it's basically the same. When no one cares, right? That's because the price is low, right? Here we had the blue line. That was the Bitcoin bottom in this cycle. Well, it was also the bottom of the people that were actually there. While if you were there, you got the bottom and you could have rode this wave. But when did people having interest in crypto peak? After the Bitcoin peak, right? After this peak, at least, right? We got another peak right here, but still here as well, right? Nobody was here. Social risk was sitting at 0. Nobody was there. People on YouTube didn't get views, no new subscribers. There was no interaction, no new followers on Twitter for these kind of people or projects or whatever, right? Nobody cared. But while nobody cared, Bitcoin was sitting at its bottom, right? And once Bitcoin got up, Bitcoin peaked here, December 2017, on my birthday. Congratulations, thank you. And after that, people got interested. That's what you want to go against to, right? Because these are the newer people in crypto, the people that do not know about it. And what your job should be, like I said, crypto is player versus player, because you want to buy something low and you want to sell it high. But you buy it from someone and you sell it to someone, right? So you want to buy it from someone right here who's losing his interest, and you want to sell it to someone right here who is gaining interest again. Right? They do it the other way around, so they lose money. Well, let us make money from these people. Right? It's very, very simple. Now, we are not sitting as low as over here and over here. Will we get there? Well, I don't know if we will go down to these exact levels, but I think we will get lower. And I think that will be because altcoins could get wrecked, right? Because you'll see it right here as well. The Bitcoin price, it doubled. Well, people were leaving. So people don't really care about Bitcoin, right? They don't give a crap, right? People mostly still care about altcoins. And the people that are in Bitcoin, they feel like, yeah, whatever, I just have my Bitcoin, hold it, and I'll see, right, what's there to be active on. Well, let's take a look. If we turn off the YouTube views, it's going higher, right? So subs, I mean. So if we mess around with this a little bit, here we go. You see that when it comes to the YouTube subscribers, we are already sitting at 0. So that's quite funny, right? So this basically means that no people are subscribing to YouTube channels anymore, right? So if you look only at the views, it's still pretty high. So that means the people that were already in crypto, you know, the interest is also lost, but it's still quite high, right? So the people that were already there, they are relatively smart enough to stick around, right? At least a part of it. Most of them left anyway. But when you look at YouTube subscribers, so if new people are coming in, yeah, you see that it's at a complete bottom right here. It's sitting at 0 for a while already, right? So there are no new people coming into crypto yet. So, you know, it's like you are the one that's left. And that feels very hard, and that can take for your it could feel like it's for a super long time, and it actually is a long time. Like, I mean, let's say everything restores in 6 months. 6 months in crypto, dude. I need the hyperbolic time chamber when it comes to crypto, because 6 months is like unbearable. It's hard. It's hard, right? But you'll see that in the bull run. When everything is getting exciting again, you see that people are, you know, there are so many new people joining crypto. It's incredible. But therefore I say, like, if you are already prepared, right, at these places where it's now, for example, sitting at 0, if you already have done your research, you have set up a good watch list in your dollar costing at around the bottoms and everything when it comes to that, by the time the bull run starts, all these new people that are coming in, they will pump your bags. And when this is peaking, and I will use this indicator as well as a kind of selling and buying indicator, and I will update you on that. And once this peaks, right, you might feel like, okay, now it's maybe time to sell my bag to all these new people so I can take my profits, and they get wrecked, right? It sounds very cruel, but it happened to you too, probably. It happened to me too, right? I mean, yeah, if you want to make money, you have to get that money from someone else. That's just what it is, right? So we want to win this game. We want to win this game. It's player first player. That's it. Now, like I said, it's like if you turn them all on, you'll see that it's still sitting quite low, but it's not really there yet, but it's still in a downtrend, right? We have lower lows, lower highs on this. Very simple. It's a chart. What could drive it lower? Well, one reason is, for example, these people on Twitter and on YouTube calling for an alt season. So the retail is getting excited. The newer people in crypto, or the people that have just maybe seen a bull run but weren't really there, or I don't know, that they feel like, oh yeah, now we are going to pump, like, and then it's not happening, yeah, and that will drive it completely down. If you look at the altcoin season index, people were calling for an alt season. Okay, now, if we are in this red area, that's an alt season. If we are in this green area, that's Bitcoin season. I'm gonna leave it up to you where we are, right? How can we call for an alt season right now? I mean, it is a fact that once we are in the green area, you could definitely think of getting some or putting some Bitcoin into altcoins, because, you know, every time, of course, once we are in Bitcoin season, eventually we will come out of it, right? We shoot up. Here as well, went back down, shoot up to an alt season. Here as well, here, everywhere to an alt season. Eventually we will. So it's not a bad time to prepare for that. But don't expect it to happen overnight. If we look at the 60-day moving average, we are even, or the ROI time frame, sorry, it's not a moving average, we are even lower. We are basically full in the deep ocean of Bitcoin season. I don't know how else to put it, but it cannot be more the opposite of an altcoin season that we are in right now. So let's not call it that, right? If you look at the top 50 coins, for example, this is Bitcoin with the 20% ROI over the last, 60 days. Basically, there were 2 coins that were outperforming Bitcoin, Radix and XRP. And for the rest, everything was not, you could have better been in Bitcoin. And these are just 50, right? There are tens of thousands of coins overall. But if out of the 50, only 2 outperform Bitcoin, yeah, that's a 1 in a 20. That's basically, if you want to buy an altcoin, there's a 1 to 25 chance that altcoin was a better decision than buying Bitcoin. Well, that's not worth it for me. Definitely not. And even you could say yeah, but this altcoin is just better, and I know that. But yeah, you could have thought that about XRP as well. But overall, for example, XRP hasn't performed in the last 6 years. Yeah, if you right now pick the exact time where it did, yeah, then you have a little bit of profit compared to Bitcoin, but not much. But if you want to risk that, I don't know. Let's take a look, man. Altcoin market. So Bitcoin, 28,400. Little pump today, nothing too crazy. If you put it on the daily, if you use TradingView, let me put it like this. Sorry, if you do not use TradingView, go use TradingView. It's not that hard. I have a couple of videos on how to use it, but if you have some questions, leave them down below. I'll make a video especially for you, so you know how to use it. If you have TradingView eventually, set up these moving averages, right? That's the WA. The weighted moving average, okay? Moving average weighted. What it is, it's basically this moving average shows the price over the last how many days the moving average you put in your settings. And it takes the last couple of days that weight a little more. So you get a very clear picture of what levels Bitcoin is likely to go to, right? These moving averages are the 50, the 100, and the 200. You can go to your settings of that moving average. Why the fuck is my settings not opening? You go to the settings and you fill it in right there. Anyway, Bitcoin was holding, for example, the 50 weighted moving average, as you can see right here, this yellow line, for a while, right? We bounced, and we finally broke it, and we came down all the way to the 200, right? We went back up. Beautiful, broke everything, hold the bull market support band as well. Once we broke the bull market support band, you'll see that we came down, right? Now we're trying to climb back up, but we have some trouble right here with the 50 weighted moving average and the bull market support band. That's for me a very good reason that it's now for Bitcoin very hard to break this $28,000 level. Also, if you take into consideration that we have this green line that I just drawn, or this white line that I drawn earlier, depends a little bit if you take the fake out. That's the same area where we have this horizontal resistance as well. I don't think that Bitcoin will go to $29,000 and stay above it. It could. I mean, we broke every major resistance or support right here as well. So on the way up, you can break that resistance. But yeah, if you look at the chances, then it's not that likely, of course. Now, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, that's a thing, right? That has something to do with why people are calling for an altcoin season. And I said it before, we are in this range, and we are now basically at the top of the range, right? So people expect it to go down, right? So that altcoins will moon against Bitcoin. That's what it did right here. And then we had an alt season. But these people forgot that here, Bitcoin was moving up by 44%. If we go up 44% from the level where we are right now, it takes us to around $40,000, right? Is that so likely to happen? I don't think so. So therefore this and this is not comparable. Now I do want to say, like, I have my expectation that we will go down on the dominance. It means that altcoins will do fine against Bitcoin. So yeah, I have some altcoins right now. If it goes down, I will sell them for Bitcoin. Doesn't matter what the dollar valuation is at that time of Bitcoin or these altcoins, I make more Bitcoin. And at the end of the day, we all know that Bitcoin is going to be worth a lot, right? So that's a good trade. Problem is, it's a little different now, right? Every time we went to this top, we stayed there for a little while, got rejected. Here as well, we stayed there for 2 days, got rejected. Here, 2-3 days, rejected. What do we do right now? We went to the top in the 20th of March, and we're now still here. It's now end of April. So we are holding up right here for a month already, right? So the dominance is showing some strength right now for the first time in 2 years. But then, yeah, and you could argue like, okay, but we went up right here and we stayed there for a while and we got broken down as well. That's true. But we found a higher level where we consolidate, where we go sideways. And at a certain point, the Bitcoin dominance will break up, right? I mean, if you look at this chart, where it comes from, right? This was the top. Well, we never go back there, of course. But we are now still here. Like if you look at it like this, then I'd say this is low. This is low. And even if we go down, that's a little short temporary move, right? This could cause altcoins to go up very hard against the Bitcoin pair. But if we really go up first and then come down, and if Bitcoin goes up by then, that's the alt season, right? But I don't expect a big alt season until, let me say this very carefully. Well, not before 2025, I think, to be honest. Now, the total 3, this is interesting. The total 3 is still in a downtrend, right? We have this downtrend right here, like Bitcoin was, and Bitcoin broke out of it, right? Now, the total 3 tried to break out of it, but got rejected and fell right back in it. We found support at the 200 daily moving average, right? We found support right here, but overall, the amount of resistances that we are battling right now is quite hard. We have the 100 weighted moving average, we have the 50 weighted moving average, we have the bull market support band, we have this diagonal line, which is basically the trend line that's been holding us down since the last 1.5 years. And if we break all of that, we have this major horizontal resistance where we got rejected a couple of days ago. So for altcoins to go into an alt season, I'm sorry, but something really crazy has to happen, right? It's not for no reason that altcoins will blast through all of these resistances and just goes right now. Bitcoin just need a little push down and altcoins go down with it. So I'm a little skeptical about altcoins. When do I buy? I said it before. I'm not buying the top. Like if you just look at this diagonal trend line, right? These yellow diagonals. It's now at top. At the top of the range, right? This is the range. It's now at the top of the range. Are you going to buy altcoins that are sitting at resistance or at support? Right? And previous resistance turns into support. So what you can do is 2 things. What I would do, let me put it like that. 1, I will wait for it to come down, thereby, or I will wait for it to break out, retest, go up and thereby, because then this line is support. Like I said earlier, I talked about it right here as well. And once we broke out, I said, okay, but don't buy, wait, right? Because if we go down and we do not have that retest, then it turned out to be just a fake out, right? And that's what happened we went down. It was fake out, this, right? We went down in it. And now it's resistance again. We did not see this, right? If you see that, then kind of here is give or take where you buy. So altcoins are still pretty screwed. So yeah, beautiful. Yeah, and also look, I mean, there are a lot of altcoins that are, well, not performing well. There are some altcoins that are performing well, but overall, if you look at altcoins, and I think Benjamin made a video on this as well, and he's kind of right about it, right? That if you look like, man, a few weeks, like 1-2 weeks ago, people were like, oh, Cardano is doing good. Really? I don't see it. Right? Yeah, if you buy the bottom, well, congratulations, 16% gain. But then you somehow have to buy the bottom, right? Again, and you have to sell there as well. Otherwise, you bought the bottom right here. You have a lot of gains, but it's all for nothing, right? It's what did Cardano, for example, do? Cardano Bitcoin. This right here was a lower low, and this right here was a lower high. High, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Same goes for the lows. It's still going down, right? Who says it can't come down another 30, 50%? So far, the downtrend is intact, right? On its dollar pair, yeah, it's looking a little bit stronger, but also not really fantastic. But therefore, I am indeed, like I said before, I rather stack up on Bitcoin once we see a good correction, because then later you can buy altcoins with your Bitcoin. And therefore I said it's the toughest part of the year, of the cycle, because even when Bitcoin bottoms, altcoins on their Bitcoin pair, and somehow even on the dollar pair, usually bottom like half a year or a year later. Right, so you think like, well, we'll finally have the Bitcoin bottom, and then you buy altcoins and you go down another 80%. That's fucked up, right? And that gets people out of the market. So yeah, if you, for example, Arweave, like, come on, Arweave Bitcoin. Like, we talked about these charts a lot, and a lot of people were talking about buying. Well, when I look at this chart right now, when was the best time to buy? Never. Yeah, this exact fake out dip before the bull run, but you know, it's just made a new low this week, right? Made a new low yesterday, a new low, right? And not every chart is looking as terrible as Arweave though, but overall the picture is kind of the same. It just doesn't look good. Over the last more than half a year, also Atom has been going down. If you look at AVAX, well, lower low, 2 weeks ago, lower low, right? So it's all making lower lows. If you look at Cake, absolutely destroyed Cake, right? Wow. Anyway, if you look at Cake, a lot of people may feel like, oh yeah, here's the bottom, great, let's buy. Oh yeah, okay, made a way lower low, right? And the next, yeah, it's far from the next support point still, right? And next, I'm not saying the last or the whateverest, but next, it's all in the downtrend, right? And you could be like, oh yeah, look at Cake, it's so cheap right now. It came from $40, now it's sitting at $260. Let's buy. Who says it won't go to $1, for example? Who says, right? Because it's been going down ever since, right? What makes it all of a sudden stop right here? And not every altcoin looks like this. Phantom is holding up pretty well, right? There are a couple that are holding up pretty well. But overall, this is the picture. Moonbeam. When was the best time to buy Moonbeam? So far, never. If you have bought Moonbeam anywhere, you got wrecked. Unless you traded, this through this and this to this. Overall, for the long term, Moonbeam, there was never a good moment to buy it. Never, ever. Right? What makes you think that it would be right now? You could have thought that right here. Should we go on? Here. It sucks. Let me take a look. Is there more? People like Hex. Hex has been holding up pretty well. Definitely. Can't shit on that. Although, no, it's been holding up pretty well from the top to the bottom. Already down 56% in a very short period. Yeah, that's what you get because it had a pretty, it really had a big bounce, right? It shot up pretty hard. Yeah, and then comes correction. And that goes for a lot of altcoins that people are now bullish on. Because there are some altcoins that are really going up hard. Yeah, of course, there are always exceptions. But don't ape into these altcoins when you see that they're already up very hard, because these altcoins could also come down like, well, like you see right here, 60% in a week or 2 or 3, right? Like for Injective, it's also a good example. Injective on their Bitcoin pair, it's gone up 430%, right? 5x, more than a 5x. Okay, great. Who says it can't come down at least 50%, right? That's even far from where we came from. So this is still bullish. But if you buy at the wrong time, you can still lose half of your money. You know, that is basically what it is. So yeah, altcoin Chainlink as well. That's one of my holdings that I really am comfortable with for the next crypto bull run. But yeah, buying it right now. Yeah, if you look at these horizontals, these are some nice support points. And you could definitely... Chainlink it looks different, right? Because we have a lot of support and resistance right here. Well, around this area we have support. It looks like we are gaining support right here. So this is kind of a range. So this is definitely where you could think of dollar costing. Well, I would think of dollar costing. Also on the dollar pair, very steady. But yeah, if you look at a chart like, for example, Moonbeam, yeah, then I feel like, yeah, if you buy this, you haven't even seen the chart yet. Sorry, but that's not smart. For the gaming coins, really quick, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. Altura has been rampaging, by the way. But it's also like, that's one of these coins that you feel like, okay, also an exception. I happen to have this exception in my portfolio, so I'm quite happy with it. But, you know, who knows which coin is going to do that? Right, Altura was just heavily oversold, right? And I must say, I think I'm going to take some profits on this one, although it could go up a little higher towards 5 cents, maybe not. But this is looking insane. I mean, Altura did what? It did from the bottom to where we are right now, 5x as well. Very beautiful. So yeah, there are always exceptions. Chain GPT came out, did a 15x or so, and it's still holding up right here. It's incredible how strong that is. Engine starter shot up and did not really ever came down. Gala still quite strong, but on the other hand, if you look at the dollar chart over the last couple of days, especially, you do see that, you know, it's making lower highs. So this, yeah, I don't know. Gala on its Bitcoin pair, yeah, just coming down. Doesn't look that good to me, to be honest. I mean, this is quite, well, excuse my fucked up line, but this is kind of what Gala is doing right now, down, right? Why would you buy this? Wait for it to consolidate. So yeah, a lot of coins are. I think this is the very small beginning of a very, very, very big altcoin wreckage. I could be totally wrong about that, of course, but as long as we are in this downward trend, that's what I believe. And it would validate it for me once we break out, have a very obvious and clear retest, and then go up. Right? That would invalidate it for me. But for now, as long as the trend is down, right? The trend is bearish, so I will be too. That's the smartest way to do it. I want to wrap it up here, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, like the video. If you have subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell notifications. This afternoon, I will post another video about altcoins, but more specifically about the, you know, the alt season and why you should be very careful. I go a little more in depth about what I just talked about. So stay tuned. See you then. Bye.